Stephanie, thank you very much for joining me for a quick conversation about ale and your experience of it. I usually start out with asking people, do you remember how many times you've been so far?
Thank you, Manuel. It's a pleasure to be here. And yes, I remember. It's actually going to be my third time, this time in Munich. My first one was in Vilnius, 2022. And actually, I didn't know really what to expect, but I was curious about going to an unconference, also outside of Austria. And so I joined. And immediately I knew that I want to come back because I just love the spirit. So yeah, that's why I also attended last year in Budapest, and I'm very much looking forward to Munich this year.
Cool. So clearly there was something that sparked something in terms of interest on your side that also makes you come back. Can you describe that? What is it that makes you come back to ale?
Yes, for me, what keeps me coming back is the incredible connections I can build at Ale. It really feels almost like coming home, even though it's just once a year. But there is this warmth and familiarity. It's hard to describe, but I know I will see people who I've become friends over the years, have the one or the other inspiring conversation, for sure bring home something new that I learned, build up on some ideas together, and yeah, really work on the topics that are important for me professionally. And what's also really nice is that while the ale spirit stays the same, each edition, each year has its own special flavor. And one moment that I remember from last year that somehow stuck in my head is that the whole conference took place on a ship, so a real ship on the Danube River. So we were all literally sitting in the same boat on this journey of learning and growth together. And I remember one conversation that I had. I ended up talking with someone I'd never met before, and we're standing by the railing, and it was somehow really hot because last year was quite a hot summer. Luckily, inside it was cool, but outside it was quite hot. And yes, we had just a simple conversation because she also got curious in solution-focused coaching that I do. So it's part of my work somehow with individuals and teams. And some weeks later, we had some coaching conversations together, and it turned out to be a really powerful experience, not only for her, but for both of us, because yeah, she felt stuck on something that was really important for her, and she wanted to find some new direction and some action steps. And I was personally reminded of the big impact coaching can have. And all of this started with a spontaneous conversation with a stranger. Um, and yeah, this is just the magic of Ale for me. It's not just a conference, it's a place where real, meaningful connections can happen.
That's great. Do you have an idea or mm, something towards an explanation why that might happen at ale and not at other conferences?
Again, I think it's the people because somehow it's participant driven. So you're not consuming the content, you're not coming there to see like what others want to show, but you're really part of creating it. So you can bring your own ideas, build up on the others, and there is also time and space to let things grow organically. So all kind of topics you can bring. Somehow, most of the time, they're related to agility, lean, Kanban, ways of working, organizational change, mindset practices, really whatever that is out there that shapes the way of working and lets a person grow. And it's not just packed tight with one event after the other. Even though, of course, you have a schedule and you can go from one session to the next, but you just have time to digest in between, uh, continue a discussion the next day because it's also like built on 3 days, spark something new that is somehow inspired on the third day. Uh, yes, so I think it's just this, and also the international vibe somehow. So people come from all over Europe, even beyond sometimes, and bringing their perspectives. And it's just an inclusive place. So you can come with your family, you can come with your partner. Uh, Yeah, I think that also really makes it unique somehow because you relax there and you also know that for your family and stuff, there's being taken care of. I think also that is something unique.
Mm. Yeah, I also think it has something to do with the amount of agency that people show up, and that they don't show up as participants and feel like, oh, I don't have the mandate to contribute or to make changes to how things are happening. Especially with regulars, I love how people just make things happen without having to be told or allowed to do something, and just lets things emerge organically, as you said. Do you have a favorite part of the conference?
Yes, actually, for me, what's really something that I like a lot is this drinks with friends, which comes along actually with the dinner with strangers. That is most of the time happening like in the first night, and then the last night you just meet together. So in the analogy that okay, you're all friends, and it's like really that everyone is having fun, sharing some good time together. It's just always been special so far.
Yeah, cool. I like that too. That also in the implied with the naming that you meet as strangers and it only takes a day to then meet again with friends. Actually, we have a plan for this year to make that even more intense throughout the days of the conference, but I'm not going to give it away yet what it's going to be. But we have ideas how to increase the felt sense of community, which we made this year's theme. So I hope that it works out well and that it will also stick around because it's valuable. Okay, is there anything else that you would like to add in terms of what ale is or what it means to you? Something that you'd say, well, without this, it's not complete picture. This is important.
Maybe just building up on what you just said in terms of that Ale is driven by a volunteer team. So every year also brought to a different country, and you can clearly see that the organization and the team behind, they really kind of bring their personal touch, which is also so cool to see. And that also brings a very special vibe for each and every country and location. So that is actually something really, really cool. And also just if you come there first time and you think afraid of, oh, am I going to have a topic? Am I really able to contribute? All the pressure off. Also first time I was like, oof, I was quite quiet at the beginning, and then at the last day I brought in a topic. So, but even if you don't for the first time, it's all gonna come naturally, as you said. The people that are coming each and every year, they bring like the spark, and it's just great. So, no, there's nothing to be afraid of for sure.
Yeah,
And yes, I also want to thank you and your organizational team this year, Manuel, that you bring it to München and you took all this effort that it really is up and make it happen.
yeah. Well, it's my pleasure. Actually, I don't know exactly how many times I've been, but since 2017 in Prague. Um, and I gained so much from the community, so it's really giving back for me. So it's really my honor to do so. It's also one of my favorite parts that it's always in a different country and always by a different organizing team. And and at first that sounds stupid, right? It's very inefficient to just have a different venue every time, to have a different, like even a legal entity who runs it and a completely different organizing team. But it also brings that magic of it's going to be slightly different each year, and it's always a surprise. While there is tradition in terms of this is certain things that we do, like it's always going to be open space, there's always going to be dinner with strangers and certain things, but then there's always small tweaks and slightly different ways of doing things that keeps it fresh, and I really enjoy that.
Absolutely.
Okay. I guess we'll wrap it here. Thank you, Stefanie, so much for joining me for this quick chat, and I'm really looking forward to welcome you in Munich pretty soon.
Thank you, Manuel. You really sparked now my curiosity even more, and I'm looking forward to Munich very
Excellent.
soon.
Great. Thank you.
Bye bye.